by the time we got there, they had already finished looking at the Pokemon Center. We were able to grab a quick snack with the group at the Pokemon Sweets Cafe. I meant to take a picture of the Pikachu waffle before I ate half its cranium, but I forgot, so this is what you get. Now that we were with the group, we were able to travel with them for the rest of the day, so we packed into the bus and headed off to a traditional tea ceremony where we were taught all about how the tea masters would make tea and tea etiquette and all these things about the significance of tea in Japanese culture, all while getting to taste the tea master made. Again, I meant to take this picture before I took a chunk out of the little sweet they gave us, but here we are yet again.
Oh, hey, Emmy. Welcome in.
They also served us a really special lunch.
Hold on, I'm just gonna, like, put the thing that I usually do, and, oops, you can hear me on here. Yeah, I'm just gonna pin a certain comment, that way people know to write their names.
I don't mean to be ungrateful or wasteful, but the box is full.
But yeah, I'm watching YouTube right now, so if you hear things in the background, it's because I'm watching a video.
Because it's really hard to be vegan or even vegetarian there, so I really tried to eat as much as possible and look thankful. But yeah, I struggled a lot. But I still had a great time, and it was an honor. We were dropped off at the Yokohama Chinatown and left to explore a bit until dinner in a few hours. Everyone separated into groups, and Jacob, Stefan, the guy that sent me all the sitting cuties, you guys remember him, the guy named Steve, and I went and pursued the street food a bit before stumbling into a little arcade with a bunch of crane machines. I got this silly little bear minifigure. His name's Chico, so I decided to innocently carry him around in my pocket for the entirety of the trip. You know, because he was silly. This single action severely changed the course of my mental stability going forward. You'll see soon enough. But look at these cute photos I got with them. We had a great dinner, headed back to the hotel, got to hang out with our good old Pokemon rival Jit.
Well, anyways, how are you doing, Emmy? How's your day?
Got to do some private shopping at the Pokemon World's pop-up shop. I'll just say we bought way too much stuff that we also don't regret in the slightest. I even got this video of Jacob grabbing more and more sitting cuties as the workers kept reorganizing them to keep the display looking perfect. We walked out of there with 3 giant bags of stuff. But it's okay, because remember, we anticipated this with our extra suitcases, which I am starting to wonder if they are going to be enough, but surely we will come down. We were then all taken to the creatures' offices. You know, just the place where they make Pokemon cards. It was gorgeous in there. They had these awesome sculptures of giant Pokemon cards with crystals, and all the walls
okay, that's figured out.
It felt like I was in a building with a lot of significance. Because I was. We got a tour around the building, met the TCG card testers, and were able to ask them questions about the process. Even got to have a little
that's good. How, what time is it over there where you're at?
It's funny, one of the people in our group asked how they chose which Pokemon to make cards for. A good question. And then followed it up with, I really like Mantyke, but there's only 2 Mantyke cards that exist. And the assistant pulled up a list of all
Hello, welcome in.
cards that have ever been created. And sure enough, there were only 2. The director chuckled and was essentially
11:18. Ooh, that's pretty late, dude. Yeah, for me it's like it's 8:18 p.m. So oh, there you go. Okay, Emmy, well, I'm gonna go ahead and write your name, so, because, like, why not? Let me see, I think... Yeah. Oh, 9:18 where you're at? Okay. So it's only like a 1 hour difference. No problem. Speaking of this card, she brought the actual original Magnemite for us to see. That was by far the coolest thing that I've ever gotten. Yeah, no, we're actually pretty close, dude. That's awesome. Genuine history. I felt like I was meeting the president. Also, here's me and Jacob's Magnemites that we made. Day 3 of our little Pokemon field trip, and we were taken to another Pokemon center. This time in Shibuya, which was also right across from a Nintendo store. It was like a bullet was shot through our credit cards. In the shopping center, I saw a little gacha machine with little... Is he? Okay, I got you. I was only interested in getting Chicoa, but I decided to test my luck anyway. And I got him first try. Now I had 2 of them. Yes, the original was still in my pocket. You can safely assume he is in my pocket for the entirety of this video. I've got pictures to prove it. Jacob snapped this awesome picture of the Chicoa brain rot taking over. When we were looking around in the Shonen Jump shop, a little Japanese boy pointed at Jacob and went, Sanji-san, before his mother quickly yanked him away, and I still to this day laugh at that interaction.
poor kid saw his first blonde guy in real life and immediately thought it was Sanji. Later that day, we also got to attend the Pokemon Symphony, where a live orchestra played Pokemon songs, and it was absolutely incredible. Video game orchestras are so cool. It always tugs on my heartstrings to see video game music transformed into such a beautiful new art form. Highly recommend attending one if you have any favorite games or franchises. On to the first day of Worlds. It was exciting. People flooded into the venue. We watched the opening ceremony in the crowd. Just wow. This is the whole reason why we're here. We went back to shopping. Look at this cute little Pokemon book I found in the nearby bookstore. At this point, we were absolutely pushing it in terms of luggage space, and we were day 4 into a 2.5-week trip. Our shopping sprees up to this point were very not frugal, so we cut our losses and bought 2 extra giant suitcases to fit everything better. Okay, we knew we were gonna need extra suitcases. Getting a few extra couldn't hurt. Look, the flights were paid for. We were still saving money at this point, I think. That's my rationalization. I'm going with that. Also in the mall were tons of Pokemon monitors straight up playing the World Championships, TCG, Pokemon Go, VGC. Japan treated Worlds like it was the Super Bowl, and it was just so cool to see one of my main interests so culturally celebrated. People of all ages would stop by to watch for a bit before going back to their shopping. I can't explain it, but it just made me very happy. We even got to see Wolfie live on the monitors. How'd he do? He did great. Don't worry about it. Nothing happened. Look, we were just happy to see our friend on the Pokeball screen. Proud of you, Wolfie. You're so cool. The second day of Worlds was hype. So hype that we left Yokohama and flew to Osaka. I haven't mentioned it yet,
Thank
but we
you.
actually got tickets to see the one and only Hatsune Miku live in concert. The real ones know how huge that is for me. I want to talk about how life-changing that was, but I'm going to make a whole separate video about that experience I'll be posting next. All I'm going to say is it was the best day of my entire life. By a lot. Subscribe now before we miss it. Just saying. I will mention we did have to take the train to get back later that night and got super lost again. And we never get better at it. Don't expect anything to change in that regard. We did finally get
Yeah, like if you want me to draw like animals, I could totally do that. Like it doesn't just have to be names, you know?
We were in Japan
We can get
for
creative.
the One Piece anime episode. You know what I'm talking about. 1072. We were able to turn on our hotel TV and watch it live, and that was so cool. I don't talk about how much I love One Piece much, mainly because it doesn't really come up, but One Piece is peak, and it was an honor to be in Japan at such an iconic part of the moment.
Okay, I got you. All right, let's see if we could draw a turtle.
Sorry about that. We were able to watch the final VGC match live, got to chat and eat dinner with Wolfie and some other friends, had a late night hangout with Jan again, and that was about it. Day 7 meant it was time to pack up all our stuff from the hotel, say goodbye to Pokemon and Yokohama, and head on over to the apartment we rented for the rest of our stay just outside of Tokyo. At this point, we had filled up all 6 suitcases and multiple backpacks. I didn't mention it, but Pokemon gave us a truckload of gifts that we genuinely had no idea what to do with. We're grateful nonetheless. Thank you, Pokemon. But yeah, the taxi ride was a bit awkward. So are you meeting up with some friends? No. After we got situated in the new place, we decided to look around the area and grab some lunch. And I gotta say, the little hole-in-the-wall restaurant Jacob found was some of the best ramen I've ever had ever. They even made it vegetarian for me, which was extremely kind of them. Food modifying is a bit tricky in Japan compared to the States, so I was very, very thankful. And it was delicious. We then proceeded to do absolutely nothing for the rest of the day because we were exhausted from the trip so far. I haven't mentioned absolutely everything we've been doing on the trip because it would be a lot of first we did this and it was cool, then we did this and it was cool. Even though it was such a pleasure to be invited, I was so dead and definitely looked super not approachable or friendly to the rest of the group by the end of it. Sorry, guys. But neither time nor Japan stops for anyone, so we had to keep on chugging along. There were a bunch of friends we wanted to see while in Japan, and one of them was Connor. He wanted to take us to what he deemed his favorite Italian place ever. I asked if it was like fancy Italian, to which I was given the answer of no. So we get there, having a great time, and suddenly we realize Junichi Masuda, the director of Game Freak, is there having dinner. Not a fancy dinner, my ass. I then looked down to see the Freddy Fazbear FNAF t-shirt that I am wearing. Not the best Jaden moment to exist, but hey, what can me too. The food was phenomenal, though. I already mentioned the best ramen I've ever had while on the trip, but this was
That's
just
more or
the
less a
best
turtle,
pasta
right?
I've ever had in my entire life. Maybe even a top 3 meals ever for me. I don't know what the other 2 would be, but that Connor place is definitely up there. The next day, we went to the One Piece store in Shibuya and bought a lot of stuff because there was a lot of topical and hype things in there, as you can imagine. If you don't get it, go catch up and come back. Don't worry, it won't take too long. My favorite character is Mihawk, but out of all the stuff the store had to offer, there were only a few stickers and a single keychain for Mihawk. I'm still mulling about that one. I just want more Mihawk. Is that too much to ask for? Even this guy got better merch. The world's greatest swordsman deserves better. I guess I'll just take my Zoro and Law stuff. That's cool too, I suppose. I also found a bunch of Chikawa stuff in a Kittyland store, and this is truly when you get to see where things start going downhill for me. I just like the funny little cartoon bear thing. What, is that such a crime? I don't remember what we did the rest of the day. I think we just crashed and passed out. This trip, as
Yeah,
surreal
it's a little funky looking, but yeah, he's okay.
and I desperately needed to just not move or talk or exist for a bit. We were doing so many different
A wolf?
things
Okay,
that
let's
were
see.
awesome and hanging out with so many different people that were awesome. But man, I am not built for extended periods of that much excitement and socializing. As much as I would like to change this fact, I'm also not a very active person. I know. Up until this trip, I was practically sitting down 24/7, working all the time to prep as much work as possible so I could have a guilt-free 3 weeks off. And my muscles were definitely starting to decay at that point. I looked at my phone's step meter thing, and there was one day where I literally got 300 steps. That's pathetic. And suddenly, I'm logging over 20,000 daily. My body was screaming. What the hell are you doing out there? Please stop. Plus, we were in Japan during the hottest, most humid time of the year. Every time we left the air-conditioned luxury of a building, we would immediately be drenched in sweat. Look, I'm used to the heat. I grew up in Arizona, but even this was too much. So yeah, crash and burn it was. Tokyo Disneyland was a bit underwhelming. It felt like a slightly worse version of the one in California because of the oddly spaced layout and surprisingly empty vibe. We did go to a Stitch-themed show thing, and as we were walking in, a worker stopped us and said, "Oh, excuse me, Stitch only speaks Japanese," like warning us it's not super tourist friendly. But I just think the statement of Stitch only speaks Japanese is hilarious. We went in anyway, and yep, Stitch only spoke Japanese. Yeah, overall, it was not the best thing we did, but apparently, I didn't know this, Japan has 2 Disneys, Disneyland and Disney Sea, and we went to Land, which is unanimously deemed the worst of the 2. So, oops, better luck next time. Jacob and I took 2 more rest days where we just turned to ash, then up and at 'em, back to Osaka we go. This time, we went to an Eve concert. Besides Hatsune Miku, the Japanese band Eve is the only other concert I've said I wanted to go see. I love their music videos they have for all their songs. It's always such beautiful animation. And by the way, they're the ones who sang the season 1 Jujutsu Kaisen anime opening theme, if you're lost. Earlier in the trip, Jacob just so happened to look up if they were doing a concert while we were there, and lo and behold, they were. He got some totally not scalped tickets, which turned out to be a super complicated process, so thank you, Jacob. You're the bestest friend I've ever had. Thank you for going through the trenches for silly old me. Anyway, the concert was so incredible. The atmosphere was fantastic. They had awesome visual effects going on. The glow bands a lot of people bought were perfectly synced to the music and colors on the stage, which really enhanced the experience. The music was great, which, I mean, of course it was. That was the whole reason we went in the first place. I talk about it more in the upcoming Miku video, but Japanese encores are so much different from the American ones. They're so quiet and polite. There is pretty much no screaming
Hello,
and cheering.
welcome
It was
in.
just a long applause with a semi-whispered chant of encore, encore. And they also
Right now I'm currently just watching Jaden Animations. She's a YouTuber, and she's honestly like, I've watched her since I was like a kid, honestly.
ended up doing like 5 extra songs. I mean, I'm not complaining, but after the 4th time thinking, man, that was a great last extra song. Well, time to head home. It starts getting a bit comedic. This is just a side tangent, but Jacob went off to use the bathroom before the show started and came back 10 minutes later like, dude, this is crazy, but it took me a bit longer to find a bathroom because there were so many extra women's bathrooms, which is like, whoa, that's actually so smart. There's always such a huge line for the women's bathroom compared to the men's in any scenario. I was just shocked. Japan was like, okay, then we'll make more women's bathrooms to fix that problem. Like, it was so simple. I know in America it would probably turn into a stupid political thing, but it made me so happy Japan just implemented such an obvious and straightforward solution so easily for the gals. The next day, we headed over to Universal, which was hands down the best amusement park I've ever been to. So they can do amusement parks well. First of all, Universal Japan is way more anime and manga focused than the ones in the States, which made it instantly more engaging for me. Jacob and I both agreed we would window shop for the first part of the day, and then buy all the things we wanted as we were leaving, so we wouldn't have to lug around a bunch of bags all day. But we immediately saw a little one-piece shop and cracked. We just wanted to wear these one-piece headbands. That's rule-breaking worthy. We also got some towels because, surprise, surprise, it was freaking hot. I know I've been complaining about the weather here and there, but my lord, it was miserably scorching. Japan has such a big culture around staying cool while outside, and I totally get it now. People would be walking around with little fans, ice packs, towels. A lot of women had parasols. I'll say, if we
I'm
didn't
doing
have
good. How are
towels,
you?
probably could have passed out from heat stroke that day. Later on, I even ended up getting another towel. It was a cute Pikachu one, but I got it mainly because it was a cloak design. After soaking that thing in cold water and putting it on, my body temperature instantly lowered.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear
However,
it.
that meant I was walking around the park looking like this. Back to the awesome stuff. We did
But yeah, if you
a
guys want me to draw any other animals, just let me know.
Kaizen show where the seats move around. Went on a super cool 3D VR Spider-Man ride. We tried to cool down by going on a Minions thing called freeze ray sliders that claimed to cool riders down with a blast of chilled mist from a giant freeze ray. But we got on and absolutely did not even touch a drop of the mist because it never ended up getting in range of our cart.
A jellyfish. Ooh, okay.
At the time. There were a few big roller coasters we wanted to go on, but I get super motion sick and forgot to bring nausea medicine, so no roller coasters for us, but I shall return one day. The park, of course, had a bunch of cool themed restaurants, one of them being a super cool One Piece restaurant. Did I mention I like One Piece? There also was a special Sanji one, but we didn't know you needed a reservation, so food. It was awesome though. I love One Piece. After a few hours of rides and being broiled alive, we decided to fully cool off by going on the Jurassic Park ride. That's just giant splash mountain with dinosaurs. We cooked in line for probably a solid hour, and as soon as we were literally stepping foot inside the ride, it started pouring rain. Now that's just not fair. I don't even understand how that happened, but whatever. We started buying all the stuff we window shopped for as we waited for the One Piece live show to begin. Again, please refrain from judging. I am being vulnerable and open here. By the way, as we were walking around, we stumbled onto a little Mario-themed show just out in a courtyard area. They played some fun little custom songs and had all these dancers alongside the mascots. And then out of nowhere, they started absolutely blasting the crowd with like gallons of water. I didn't even see it coming. It was like firefighters showed up to put out a giant fire, except the fire was a bunch of Japanese people. The time came and we got to fire into the special One Piece live show, and even though Jacob and I didn't understand a single part of it because it was all in Japanese, it was awesome, and the costume design was phenomenal. It was a bit unfortunate though because the seats were all in like a half circle formation around the stage. As much as they tried to make the show enjoyable from all angles, it was pretty hard to see the main things going on in the center. My only true complaint though is that Zoro didn't come to our side at all. All the other characters rotated around so we could see them, but Zoro only did it at the very end to take a bow. Also, Mihawk being included would have been nice, but it's okay. By the time we got to enter Nintendo Land, it was like 9 p.m. We got up at 6 a.m. by the way, so we pretty much just rode the Yoshi's Island ride they don't have in the States and headed home because that's all the energy we had left. But even just seeing that, it was miles better than the one in the States. Also, we picked up a little dinner at the 7-Eleven near our hotel. 7-Eleven is actually awesome in Japan, by the way. And they had a few little Chico plushie keychains, and I bought them. Just being transparent here. We We woke up early the next morning to catch our flight back to Tokyo and hurried over to the Kirby Cafe. Emily actually booked the reservation for us. She was meant to also be there, but she was only able to get 2 seats and gave them to us as a gift. Emily, I will always be indebted to you for your sacrifice. The cafe itself was so well decorated with all these little curry things, and the menu was adorable. I got the star curry and a magical little fruity drink with a Kirby marshmallow.
Okay, no worries.
My cute aggression. Jacob got the pizza and a Kirby burger, but since he made modifications, the staff asked him to not post a picture of the burger to the public. Like, they didn't know he was a content creator or anything. I guess they just didn't want the public to see a naked Kirby burger.
Hello, welcome in.
Desserts, I already decided I was going to consume the Kirby. The presentation was beautiful. It was literal art on a plate. Taste-wise, it was decent. The body was some sort of gelatin, which I wasn't too crazy about, but the rest was super tasty. I did my best, but he ended up looking like he was in a horrific accident when I threw in the towel. The cafe also has a special little private store connected to it, and yeah, what you expect happened definitely happened. We left with full bellies and bags, continued to look around the shopping center the cafe was connected to, and ended up walking into a gotcha store. I am about to be very
Of course.
vulnerable with you here.
I'm glad you like
This
it.
is one of the lowest points of my entire life. Please don't think too much less of me after what happened in that gotcha store. So I walk in, spot Chikawa, beeline it to the machine, obviously. Like I mentioned before, I'm only interested in Chikawa, so I was only playing for him. But by the cursed luck of the gotcha gods, I just could not get him. I was going back and forth between the machine and the coin exchange, getting multiples of every other little guy, but no Chikawa. I could feel the workers' glances at me, probably because the desk they were standing behind was right next to the machine I was grinding. But after way too much money, he dropped. I got my well-earned, horribly priced at that point, Chikawa. I then started looking at all the other machines, putting some coins in a few here and there, until I stopped at one that had a line of animals playing band instruments. They were very silly, but there was a little pigeon holding up cymbals, and I really wanted to get him for Jordan and Kelsey. In went the coins. Tiger, elephant, fox. It was happening again. Everything except the one I wanted, which I know more or less that's the luck with gotchas, but it was getting to the point where I was getting surprised the pigeon was dodging me as much as it was. Surely the next one. What? Eventually, I had to go back to the coin exchange, and as I was about to put in more money, I saw out of the corner of my eye one of the workers peek out and take a look in horror at all the gachapons that were sitting at the top of my bag. They then raised up their hand and said something in Japanese while shaking their head, and I knew in my heart I was being cut off. No, please, I can stop whenever. Just a few more hits and I'm done. The pigeon is next. I can feel it. Why do you look afraid? What's under the desk? I got kicked out of a gotcha store. I had hit an all-time low. I told my friends, and they said they probably just thought I was going to try and resell them, but I don't even know if that would even make it sound better, knowing I was getting so many that they thought I was robbing them blind. I just wanted my little Chikawa and pigeon with cymbals. We made dinner plans that night with a friend, and we were just about to grab a taxi and head back to freshen up, but Jacob and I caught sight of a fun anime and goodies shop. Who do we think we are?
Oh, by my show?
Quick. We rushed in and split up for optimization. As I was
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do about that. I guess like
dedicated to Chikawa. It was like someone put a freshly baked pie on a windowsill.
I don't know.
I was suddenly floating over to it. My eyes were zoned in, making sure I saw every single
I guess I can try and talk, but I don't know exactly what to talk about. All right, let's see. I guess we could just practice like fonts like I did last time, because I've been meaning to get better at them, because I don't want to stick with just one. I'm pretty sure I've told you guys that before. Like I get pretty bored of like writing the same way over and over again. But I've been meaning to like get better at graffiti, so I might as well just try and practice that. Ooh. No, it's all good. Hello. My favorite YouTubers, I would say Yeah, Jaden Animations is definitely one of them. Who else? I think I like, oh, The Odd Ones Out. I feel like that goes hand in hand with her. I think I first started watching The Odd Ones Out when I was like maybe 11. Like it's been a while. And then I slowly got more into Jaden, and I watched her videos more than I did his. Mostly because like she's really into Pokemon, and then I'm also really into Pokemon. So, wait, what if we drew Pokemon? That would be pretty cool.
And all my clothes were sticking to my body. Dinus generously let me borrow his umbrella, and I jumped for joy as he showed me it was coincidentally Chihuahua themed. I don't know what's wrong with me. All I know is that bear makes me happy. We spent a few hours completing the scavenger hunt, got our special cards.
Darn, I think I messed up. Hold up. Let me.
Always good to see you guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, definitely messed up.
I accidentally stole that.
It's okay.
They're not so calculated. They knew how much I was obsessed with Chihuahua. They've been watching my Instagram stories. Follow if you want to see Green Rock in real time. Emily, I have the Chihuahua umbrella. I didn't need to steal it. I promise. It's not what it looks like. Since we were leaving in the morning and wouldn't be seeing them again, they just let me keep it. But the side eye Jacob gave me the rest of the way back.
You're painting? Okay.
Stop it! Getting back to the apartment. Reality hit us.
Oh, you're turning 11 soon? That's awesome. Yeah, no, I think my brother's like 12, I believe. So he's not too far from you.
6 extra suitcases to hold everything we collectively bought. And even then, it was a struggle making it fit. Jacob ended up going professional Tetris mode, perfectly fitting everything into the suitcases with quite literally no extra room to spare. We came to Japan each with a backpack, carry-on, and
yeah, this live might be a little bit short because like I am pretty tired. But I think I want to try and draw some Pokemon just for fun. Like do you guys have a favorite Pokemon? I don't know if you guys are into that, but my favorite one is Sylveon. She's just so cute.
That trip will go down as one of the best trips I've ever gone on. It felt like it turned into a celebration of everything that makes me me.
Kaylee? Oh, okay, got you. All right, let's write your name. Well, maybe I can draw Sylveon and then like write your name right next to it, because why not?
I got to see so many friends that are normally so far away, ate some of the best meals of my life, and overall was just really happy, especially getting to spend it all with my best friend Jacob. By the way, if you wanted to know why in the world we got so many things, yes, a lot of it was for us. 90% of it all.
Let me do this really fast.
100% of the cheapest.
Or try to.
If you want to see what we got them, also credit where credit is due. The majority of it all was from Jacob because he's a great gift giver and even more incredible friend to the people around him. We're all nothing short of lucky to be able to call him our friend. You can go watch his Japan video. I assume it's already up because we had to animate.
Okay, there's one eye. I don't know if I drew in the correct spot, but hopefully I did.
And I owe the opportunity to the Pokemon Company for inviting us to Japan in the first place. I'm extremely lucky to be in the position.
Yeah, she might be a little wonky. Let me fix it. There you go. That's a little better.
When Carl Jacobs popped up in my DMs asking if I wanted to be in Mr. Beast's upcoming video,
dude, imagine being in one of Mr. Beast's. Oh my gosh, she looks kind of creepy. What the heck? Hold on. Let's see if I.
Despite part of me thinking I should just stay in the comfort of my own home, I felt really honored to be invited and kind of just wanted to show up, say hi, and then realistically go home with it.
No, yeah, she definitely looks creepy, but it is what it is.
And before I knew it, was flying to North Carolina, being handed a custom uniform, all before even knowing what I actually just signed up for. I didn't even know if there was a prize for the winner at this point. Walking into the green room, I was expecting to not know anyone, but to my relief, I saw a lot of familiar faces. I even used this time to ask Matt Pat what it was like to meet Scott Cawthorn, and he told
Okay,
me
have a good one then.
so already this trip was more than worth it. Eventually, we were herded down a long, mysterious hallway until we saw it. The Mr. Beast cube. After everyone was filed inside, we were told the last person to leave the cube would be deemed the winner. And also win $1 million for their subscribers. This is for $1 million? The challenge began. Immediately, people started jumping in the giant pile of real money that was inside, throwing handfuls of bills in the air, laughing, mingling. To pass the time, James and I drew our cartoon characters out of dollar bills on the floor. The staff came in and ended up giving everyone their own personal vlog camera to document their POV of the challenge. And I think I genuinely was the only person who didn't record a single second of footage on that thing. I just thought, I'm not going to use this footage because I'm not going to make a video out of it. And they're going to have plenty of other people's footage to use. In hindsight, maybe it would have been a good idea to record something, just in case. I don't know, maybe the Mr. Beast team would end up actually wanting to use some of my footage. Who's to say? After maybe
Famous? I don't know about that one, guys. Come on.
a single free throw. Yes, and you're eliminated, but make it, and not only do you get to come back into the cube, you also win a Cybertruck for one of your subscribers. They had 50 people's subscribers just in a room waiting for something to happen. I'll be honest, when Jimmy explained the extra credit challenge, I was like, hell no, I'm not going up to miss a free throw and leave immediately after nothing's happened yet. If my subscriber back there knew what was going on, they 100% would have understood they weren't getting called up for nothing. If I remember correctly, maybe 2 people ended up making their baskets and 3 people were eliminated. I could be wrong. I don't remember because I didn't log in. While chatting with friends, Ludwig So, which of my videos have you seen? Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't seen any, I don't think.
Oh, really?
Okay. Nice.
Good morning.
Bye. Kai was super chill and nice about it, but oh my god, I wanted to rip my skin off. I'm stuck in this cube with him until further notice, and it's all Ludwig's fault with his stupid dice. I hate it in here, let me out! Oh, hi, Jimmy. We were told to gather up in groups of 5, designating one as a team captain who will have immunity for the next challenge. I was with James, Schlatt, Ludwig, and Charlie Moist Critical, using the dice to choose the captain. This time, I actually rolled highest, but reassigned it to Ludwig because I couldn't cope with the idea of possibly being responsible for a teammate's elimination. And then it was revealed captains would just have to assign their teammates a shape for the Squid Game Honeycomb Challenge. Okay, well, I definitely overthought that one. I had triangle, James got circle, Charlie was star, and Schlatt unfortunately got umbrella. The 10-minute timer began, and everyone started deploying various different strategies to get their cookie shape out. Charlie used a new technique called huck as much spit as you can into the tin to dissolve it all. It was really gross. He ended up filling the tin almost to the top with spit. By the end, 2 people with stars were eliminated, and not a single umbrella made it through. Bye, Schlatt. It was very funny seeing Mr. Beast lift the lid off Charlie's tin and immediately reel back in disgust, though. A total of 14 out of 50 people have now been eliminated, leaving 36 people. Honestly, that was good enough for me. Losing at any point going forward was already further than I was anticipating. We were fed our little thing of rations and left to wait again. It probably doesn't seem like long in Mr. Beast's video, but it was like 9 p.m. by
Where I'm at, it's like 8:49.
James and I shook hands, ready to
Oh,
take on the next game as a team.
Penny,
And we froze as it was
you're so funny.
chosen our own opponent. Another Squid Game tactic. I probably should have seen it coming. I just didn't expect the double up. The Beast staff revealed the next challenge as they rolled in a giant Jenga tower. Winner stays, loser
I think
unfortunately, the very
PM,
first
8:49 p.m.
Jenga between KSI and AJ ended up taking literally 2 hours. Doing the math in our heads, we all kind of figured we probably didn't have the time to play Jenga for the next 30 hours. But just as AJ won, KSI hoisted him over his shoulders and ran out of the cube. Huge drama! Everyone
Okay, cool. That's
no
awesome.
one knew what to do. Was that legal? Can you just carry people out of the cube? Jimmy had everyone take a vote, and pretty much everyone opted to bring AJ back in. Yes, out of the kindness of our hearts, but also out of fear of being manhandled. So since Giant Jenga was a bust, production ended up scrambling to try and find like 12 sets of normal Jenga at midnight in North Carolina. A feat that seems impossible, but I feel like Jimmy could just call up the president of Jenga and have it all delivered.
11:50 p.m. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. I feel like oh wait, actually we have like a 2 hour difference or 9, 10, no, 3 hour time difference. Oh, thank you.
Whoever was eliminated would relay to the outside world that the other was okay. Because
Anastasia, your favorite color is yellow, right?
we were in the Mr. Beast cube and haven't responded for 14 hours. Our game of Jenga
It is 8:50 p.m. for me.
to the point where as I was watching James pull out a final piece, I
Okay,
realized
perfect. Just wanted to make sure.
wasn't any left for me to safely remove. The flash of bliss washed over me. Sure, I'll be gone, but that's okay. I'll be set free into the outside world again. The cube is harsh, unforgiving. It's taken so many of my friends from me. The glass floor is hurting my butt. I'm ready to go now. And deeper into the trenches I went. James being eliminated meant I was moving on to Cube Day 2. What a miracle. Watching the rest of the Jenga games was like watching an active war zone. People were focusing, cheering, sweating, praying. Towers were falling one after the other at the feet of now eliminated players. It was brutal. And also still taking way too damn long, man. Can I go to bed? The last game was
Oh, happy birthday, Unica. Like, that's so awesome. I hope you had a good day or like continue to have a great day.
And admitted he was a Jenga pro. Quackity had never played. Not the situation you want to be in. Quackity half jokingly asked NLDino if he wanted to play rock paper scissors instead, to which he replied, no. Which, fair. But 3 hours into this single game, the two of them were neck and neck. Genuinely the most cracked round of Jenga possibly ever. Everyone in the cube was gathered around watching Quackity slowly pulling out the very last piece in this skeleton of a Jenga tower. Just as he was about to make it, Ronaldinho asked, rock, paper, scissors? Quackity looked up at him. It was over. Ronaldinho
10. Oh, happy birthday again. Wow. Yeah, no, 10 is like a big deal. So I hope you do.
Alright, it's 3 a.m. Let's go.
Oh yeah, we definitely have different time zones. But yeah, Unica, like I hope you had a beautiful day because turning 10 is like a very pivotal moment in life. You know, you're hitting double digits, which is very fun and exciting.
Mr. Beast cube, sleeping next to a bunch of people I barely know, and I was probably just gonna get eliminated first thing in the morning anyway. As I was getting ready for bed, Kai walked by. Hey, I gotta check out your video. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I lost a bet to Ludwig, and he made me say that. Oh shit. Okay, damn. Oh, well, that makes falling asleep a bit easier. Thank God he only thought I had a huge ego for 19 hours straight. Crisis averted. In the morning, production had to prep for filming again, which meant they turned on every single light in the building, flash banging all of us. They were turned off, and then these loud-ass brrrr sounds from construction started blasting. They turned the lights on again a few minutes later, but this time in a crazy strobe light effect for some reason. After breakfast rations, Jimmy returned, pointed to the entrance hallway, and in walks I Show Speed. With too much energy for a group of people that just had the weirdest sleep of their lives. Alright, you guys have the chance to vote Speed into the cube to join you in challenges. The kind thing to do was to let him in, but we all just survived trenches no one could even understand. We were trauma bonded together. And also, it wouldn't be fair. The majority of us moved to the voting side of no. Admittedly, me too. Mainly because I was a bit scared of him. Speed looked at Kai. At least shake my hand, man. You're gonna pull me out. As the two of them argued about a friendly handshake, Ludwig stepped up. I'll shake your hand, Speed. His hand now extended to Ludwig. The moment their hands touched, Speed started yanking Ludwig towards the outside world. We all started screaming and panicking. We couldn't lose one of our cute brothers like this. Ludwig was holding onto the support beam for dear life. Some of the guys managed to pull him back in, and as Speed walked out, unable to take any souls with him, he exclaimed, "This ain't the last time you're gonna see me, and I remember all y'all's faces." Alright, let's get started. Challenge 3 was steal or no steal. It was actually an elimination case, and he was excited at the idea of avoiding going home. So last minute, I decided to let him keep the case. It was the safest play. If it said eliminated, then good, I dodged a bullet. If it was safe, then at least I'm not actually eliminated yet. I just have to play again. It was now my turn to bring someone up. Even though I didn't want to pick a friend out of fear of getting them eliminated, more than that, I didn't want to be up there with someone I didn't know. I picked Quackity. He came up to the podium. I grabbed case number 2. It says safe. My plan was to tell the truth, but in the most unconfident and nervous way possible. I was deploying every bit of body language knowledge I could think of, making myself look as guilty as possible as he asked me various questions. We went back and forth for a bit until your eyes looked down as you said the case was safe, which indicates guilt. So I think you're lying. I'm not going to steal it. Without a word, I shifted the case onto its back, unlatched it. Safe. It was worth sleeping in the cube. Oh my god, the relief, you have no idea. After everything finished, a bunch of people walked out, and unfortunately, Quackity ended up being one of them. And people left. I know it's a dog-eat-dog world inside the cube, but when you're left to sit with your fellow contestants for hours on end between challenges, waiting for Jimmy Beast to send you all through another round of cube stress, you really start bonding with the survivors. It was pretty sad watching them go. Hours passed until the Jimmy death bell struck again, and we were told to partner up once more. Alex and I had really gotten to chat and hang out together as the only girls left at this point, so we paired up. Everyone was blindfolded and told to sit tight until they were ready, which is ominous. The two of us were strategizing and figuring out each other's strengths and weaknesses for whatever was coming our way, only to be unblindfolded and see the entire cube transformed into a kitchen. It was a cooking battle. We're actually what? Alex started panicking, saying she can't cook for her life. We were freaking out. Then Mr. Beast brought out the judges. Professional competitive eater Joey Chestnut, Miranda Cosgrove, and Speed. Bottom 2 teams are eliminated. Time starts now. We ended up committing to mac and cheese with a slice of chocolate cake. Under the fancy...
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. So
Okay, the only 2 women left in the challenge can't cook, and they're trying their fucking best. The judges walked around to check in on everyone.
ah,
And
my
eventually
goodness.
Speed was at our station. So when you all were voting to let me in, which side were you on?
Unika? Okay, yeah, I got you. Alright, let's see. I could put your name like right next to Espeon.
We ended up switching to a yes at the last minute. Right, Jin? Yeah. I switched. Alright, cool. Because you know I don't forget, right? Yep. Later on during the challenge, Mac and Nolan from the Beast team came up to ask what we were making. At the time, I was grating up Beastables to sprinkle onto our cake for decoration, and I thought, oh, it would be funny to have them ask what we're making, and it's just their own brand of chocolate. So I was like, close your eyes and open
Ooh,
your
who's
mouth.
Candy Apple from Cookie?
And
Wait.
immediately without
Let me see. Let me search it up and then I'll do it right after.
and I was like, yeah. And it kind of stood there for a second with his mouth still open. And Nolan was like, oh, he's allergic. And they both had to leave. Oh my god, guys, I felt so bad. I apologized so much when he came back. Max said it was fine and was a good sport about it, but I still have so much guilt about being such an idiot. Ludwig and Amixem presented first with their fried chicken and asparagus dish. The judges all really enjoyed it, giving them a total of 26 points, which is really
Alright, let's see.
unfortunate because I definitely thought Speed was going to hold a bigger grudge against Ludwig and take their score. We were up next, and thankfully they really liked our food too. Joey was the first to score us and ended up giving us a 10 out of 10. And in the moment, as a joke, I wanted to turn around and flip off Ludwig as a like friendly fake gloat, but I accidentally turned around and flipped off on Mixum, and I felt so bad.
Wait, why is she so cute? My goodness. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to do something so cute, but like, I'll try.
Bumbling socially. We also got a total of 26, putting us at a tie with the French boys. But now, Logan Paul and Nick DiGiovanni were presenting. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but Nick is actually a goddamn chef. They even gave us all his own cookbooks as a helpful tip for the challenge, which is just a nice twist in my opinion. So yeah, they knocked it out of the park, got a 29. The judges were licking their plates. After them was Ty and AJ, who had a great presentation, but their food, not so much. They got a 16. After eating, Speed got up and started smashing the plates on the ground, and Logan Paul saw this and got really excited because he wanted to smash plates too. Without thinking, he ran out to join Speed, and we all shouted at him in panic. Confused at the sudden change in the air, Logan looked back at us before realizing he left the queue. To this day, none of us are truly sure if he did it for like the content or it was a genuine accident. In his defense, the set was so cosmetically different that it really did feel like we weren't in the cube anymore. Either way, he content created too close to the sun, and even though he had a guaranteed spot in the finals, he was eliminated. The last team of Rubius and Spriter went up with the Spanish tortilla, but turns out Spriter is a huge fan of Speed, so he made a special Thai dessert just for him that the other judges weren't allowed to eat, which is honestly hilarious. We all held our breath as the judges flipped through their scores. 22. Alex and I made it to the finals. I never in my life thought I was gonna be getting this far, and suddenly realized I need to actually think about what I would do if I won. I went into this thing not even knowing if there was a prize at all, and was now facing the reality that I could win the whole thing.
You guys did? How was it? Did you enjoy it?
Until Mr. Beast emerged for the final time. Someone was about to win $1 million for their subscribers, and it all came down to this last challenge. Honestly, among the group, there wasn't a single person I thought.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Everyone left.
And I'm sure it must have been very fun for Unika too because it was her birthday.
It was great getting to know them all over the course of 2 cube days, and I was really proud to be standing next to them in the finals. 5 briefcases were piled in the center, one for each finalist. We were to each take one, peek inside our chosen case, and within the next 10 minutes, discuss.
She did? Oh my gosh. Dude, yeah, no, when my brothers said their first word when they were little, I got so excited. Like, it's such a fun moment when you get to experience that with them.
Basically like reverse Among Us. The first round started, we all grabbed a case, peeked inside. Holy shit.
Oh, my phone almost fell.
I started shaking. I didn't know what strategy to use.
Dino was her first word? That's cute.
And during the discussion time, it definitely showed because I was really quiet and nervous the whole time. The 10-minute discussion wrapped up. We all unanimously wrote our votes down, and it fell into a tie between voting out Ludwig and somehow me. We could end right here. We had a few minutes to discuss again and recast votes, but Alex and Nick were able to figure out I voted for myself, so Ludwig was eliminated. The cases were reshuffled, we each grabbed one. I pulled it again. In that moment, I Since I was in the hot seat last round, I was probably gonna fly pretty under the radar this time. Someone else is gonna be voted out, and I statistically will not see this case ever again.
All right, have a good night.
Out here, I basically lose. The second round began, and it was pretty much a blur from there.
I don't know about famous, but I do enjoy what I'm doing, so I think that's most important.
Amidst trying to keep up with the conversation, strategize, and hold myself together, I couldn't find my win con. But with a few minutes left, Mixon said something that I think shifted the entire game. What are the odds Jaden pulled the million case twice? There it was. Gambler's fallacy saved me. Save me, gambler's fallacy. I couldn't mess this up. I don't know what to say to that one. Everyone's attention was now on me, and I could tell they were all thinking about what
Of course, no problem.
We all looked down at our papers. I wrote my name as quietly as possible, worrying the sound of the letters were gonna out me. Jimmy read them all out. Jaden, Alex, Jaden, Jaden. They voted me out. I slowly walked to the middle of the podium with my briefcase.
Bye, have a good one.
The only one who knew what had just happened. Everyone leaned in as I unlatched the
All
doors
right.
and revealed
I'll
the
take the
numbers.
compliments.
I won. Confetti cannons blasted. Everyone immediately started congratulating me. All the eliminated contestants left in the green room ran out screaming and jumping around me in celebration. I started to tear up for some stupid emotional reason. So, yeah, I won $1 million to give away to my subscribers. That is a Looney Tunes amount of money. First of all, top 5 all agreed that whoever won the million would give the other 4 $100K each to do something for their subscribers too. So a total of $400K will be going to Ludwig, Alex Botez, Amixem, and Nick DeGiovanni. With the remaining $600K, I decided to put it towards paying for as many people's art degrees as possible. It's really scary.
Would you guys be down to play draw to impress with me? Or not draw, what the heck, dress to impress with me? See, I said draw because it also starts with the letter D, but I feel like that would be so fun. Oh, thank you. Hello, welcome in.
Some of the up-and-coming artists by being able to send them through art school stress-free. I have no idea how to.
Because, like, if you guys want to play Roblox, like, I could totally end the stream real quick, and then, what's the word? Try and figure out how I can use OBS to, like, stream on my laptop. Like, that would be so fun. Okay, I might just do that. Hopefully my laptop doesn't crash on me.
Thank you, Mr. Beast, for creating this incredible opportunity I can now use to support artists. Despite being put through cube trenches, I had a really great time. And of course, huge thanks
Okay, give me
to
1
Mr. for
second.
making it all happen. It was something I'll never forget or experience ever again.
Okay, so this is gonna be my username, I believe. Actually, wait. So I made it when I was like super little. Oh, 4,000. Okay, I'll add you then. But I'll shoot, how do I do this? Maybe if I write in chat, I think that would be easier. But yeah, I wrote it when I was little, so the username doesn't exactly make sense, but it's been so long that I never changed it. Alright, until next time, bye-bye. Some of you may have heard, but a while back, alright, girl, I just friended you.
A little something called Pokemon Too Many Types. It's just a normal game of Pokemon Emerald, but you might notice some things are just a little bit different. Everyone has talked about how chaotically fun this game is, and I finally found the time to play it myself. Let me tell you, everyone was right. This was the most insane, backwards, chaotic playthrough of Pokemon I've had in quite some time. Professor Birch is being mauled by a dog in the grass right outside my house for the millionth time, and after digging around in his stuff, I helped myself to a Poplio. But not just any Poplio, for you see, this one is silly. Obviously, I blast the Anki Pucciana to smithereens, and with that, have now earned the freedom to explore the world on my own. Yep, it's dawning on me that I have no idea how anything works anymore. Trainers had all these new Pokemon, they're pulling out moves I've never seen before, types don't line up the way I'm familiar with. It genuinely felt like I was playing Pokemon for the very first time again. Weasel is Water Fluffy, Snom is Ice Beam, Machop is fighting Stinky. Papio, give that thing a shower, it reeks. Oh, that's super effective. I suppose that makes a lot of sense. Going into this game, I decided not to look at the type chart at all, which by the rules of this, I'm gonna have
All right, you guys. So I'm gonna figure out how to do the Roblox stream. I'll probably see you. Honestly, like give me like 1 hour. And if you're already subscribed, you should get a notification of when I go live again. But this is gonna take a little bit of learning, so just bear with me. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, bye. Have a good one.